What's up YouTube, fish tube and fish fam? It's yours truly, Rob, with the Freeze Aquariums. Today I'm excited to bring you an unboxing on the HYGGER programmable light. This is our model HG957. It's the 72 watt, 48 inches light. As you can see, kind of shaped like the Fluval, just an outer box. It does come with some foam and some bubble wrap. Very simplistic packaging. Okay, so there you have the light. They have their power supply and the instructions. A decent bank of LEDs. Aluminum chassis. Plug in for your transformer or your power supply. And then your programmable ends. Alright, so your light size on this, not including the brackets, is 120 by 10 by 2.2 centimeters. And the legs, or the actual size of the light, is 48 to 55 inches. Now on that right there, that's the Fluval 2.0 for the 55, and this particular light is just a tad longer. So it's definitely going to do well on that tank. Input AC 100 to 240 volts, output volts DC 20 volts, and what matters to us, the LED quantities. This particular one is 248 pieces, individual LEDs. You have 140 whites, 23 blue, 12 red, 11 green, and 62 red, green, blues. Rendering index is 89, lumens 3,346. Color temp ranges between 6,500 and 10,000. And the power cord, which is huge. This is a plus for us fish keepers. It is 8.8 feet. A nice perk. So here is your power supply. Plastic housing. You have your cord. A lot of lights. It's just a quick push in and you're ready to rock and roll. So again, an 8 inch power cord. So looking over the light, definitely not too chintzy. Got your adjustable legs that are super stiff. Oh, there you go. So with something like this, you're not going to have this sliding around like some of the other models where these legs are super loose. And once it's powered up, plugged in I should say, you can see that you have your clock, digital display, your daylight on, your daylight or your moon lights, and then to off. So similar to the Fluval 3.0, this has a soft start light where, kind of like with the Phoenix 24/7, you have that slow ramp up. This has a ramp up where it comes on orange, almost to simulate a sunrise, and then brightens up as the day progresses, and then winds down to the evening, low light, into the blue light or moonlight, and then powers off. With these, you can set your local time. Everything is done right here. If you do long presses, it'll go from regular time to 24-hour time. You have your gear for your setup. So far, from what I've seen from this light, I think you get more than what you paid for. As you see, this is a programmable and dimmable light. there are quite a few LEDs on this bad boy. So there it is, full spectrum. You can dim this. This one, as I turned it on, was at 20. Or 70, 80, 90, full blast, 100%. See the difference now? And I'm just touching the light bulb indicator on the remote, or on the controls on the light. So definitely a bright light. The fact that it's dimmable, and once I set it, you would actually have, if you ran it full spectrum like this, controls seem pretty good on this as well as I'm tapping through it. So this is basically your power on and off. To turn it off, press and hold a long hold, it'll shut it off. This is to program your on-off times, your night times, as well as set the intensity. You can get the 20 watt, which is 12 to 18 inches, 26 watt, which is 18 to 24, 48 watts, 30 to 36, 60 watt, 36 to 42, and of course this big mamma jamma, 72 watt, 48 to 55. So let's take a look here. Here it is on my 55, and for comparison, there is a Flugel 2.0 end to end. So the Flugel stops right here, and it leaves you probably about an inch from the end of the control panel to the light. So let's turn it on. Put this back in place. Okay, so this is the Flugel 2.0, and that's at full blast sitting in the back of the tank. Slide it up front for same comparison. So there that is, all the way up. The light is waterproof. So here it is on the 55. And we'll just go through the colorings. All right, so here we are at level 10. Level 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Pretty decent, especially if you want to kind of set a mood. If you're in your living room and you just want to relax, and it's in the evening and your fish have been blasted with light all day, you can let them chill. So we'll go through the colorings. And there's your moon. Ramp it back up. There's your green at 100. Your purple at 10. And you see that fish aren't going nuts when I'm doing this. They're not spazzing out. Another mixed color here. It looks like it's a greenish blue. I still love the way those neons and cardinals are just illuminating under any light that I throw at them. So this one is kind of a yellow. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a red, green, and blue. But I can see green, red, and like a yellowish mini LED on the water itself. Has kind of a yellow hue to it. So I'm assuming this would be like the sunrise. I'm going to actually set it up and I'm going to go through the cycle to have it come on and run. My concern is algae, so we'll have to see how it does and I'll do an update. Okay, and then you're back to red. So here you're at full again and you are at 100. So now I'll turn on the Flugel 2.0 behind it. So mind you, the Flugel is in the back, and that's putting off some pretty decent light, as it should. All right, so now you see it's just the HYGGER light. I'm not really, I mean, it's lit. It's not super dim, especially down here in the back. You can still see everything pretty solid here. A little bit of dimness back here. So now, using both lights, I have a nice even spread, meaning the fixture and where the light shines down and how far. The deeper the tank, the wider the spread and the less penetration you're getting down here. And the result is your plants grow leggy. It loses all of the leaves down here. Yet up closer towards the light, you have this beautiful plant and this long stem. So now, this is the 2.0, which I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. This is normally how I run it. So you can see what I was talking about with the spread. It's a little less bright here, down in here. And definitely over here, I hardly have any light hitting the front of this jungle valve, as well as this sword over here. So as you just saw, the fish didn't go nuts again. The fact that I can control the intensity on this light, as well as the duration, that'll help me zero in on balancing the light so that I don't have any algae outbreaks. As the functionality, the programming, you know, at this price point, you don't find that in a lot of lights. Usually it's plug in and you flick the switch and, you know, there you go. You can't dim it, you can't do anything. You just turn it on, it's full spectrum, you deal with it. So for a light in the various price points, to have this customization is ideal. And I think for those of you that are looking to, that maybe you bought a used tank and it came with the old hood and the fluorescent lights and you really wanted to upgrade, or you had a tank when you were younger and now you decide you wanted to set it up, but again, you have that old hood, that old fluorescent tubing, this is ideal. For the money that you're going to save on this light, you can take and spend and buy yourself glass tops and allow it to shine like that. Now, with the spread, meaning where it comes off and where it casts, I think on this tank, it does light it up, but not fully. My Flugel, same scenario. It just didn't hit that. And I'll show you what I mean. So now we're running just a HYGGER light. You can see it's not as brightly lit, especially down here. I've got shadows and it's not, the light isn't as brilliant. Now if you come over here and you look at the front of this jungle valve, it's a dark spot right here. And it's kind of dark here, and back where my lotus bulb is, and my lotus is growing, it's dimly lit. Now I can compensate the spread if I move this back a little bit. So now it's moved to the back side, so you can see the spread is coming out here just a little bit, and now it's leaving dark again. And of course, when you have that dark strip in the center of your glass tops, you lose that light straight down. One way to do that is get yourself at a home improvement store clear plastic hinges, and you can either glue them, silicone them, or double-sided tape and put them on your glass lids, and that'll allow the light to penetrate right through. At any rate, so now if we switch it and we go in the other direction, And as you can see, the controls are pretty responsive. So now running just a Fluval Light 2.0, you can see there's a lot of dark areas. And of course, that being said, in all fairness, if I move it up, now I have dark back here, I've got dark back there, and I do have some plants in here that need a little bit more light than others. So getting this one eliminates that darkness. So now I've got light down here where it was dark. Still have a little bit of darkness here, but there's enough penetration to the main part of this plant that it's not going to affect it. And I can even experiment with moving one back and forth and see which one does it. So with the spread on that light, I think it's pretty decent on the ends right there. It's only about a ½ an inch from the edge of the glass. So it eliminates some of that darkness out there on the ends. But sometimes you need two lights. Is it worth the money? In my opinion, I would say yes. If you are wanting to upgrade your lighting, again, save some money, buy yourself glass tops, and then your tank will look beautiful and your fish will be dazzling. Now, like I said, I run a lot of different lights from various manufacturers. Now, this light to me has a nice, crisp, white, cool light, not warm where you get that kind of orange color or that little warm tone. It's a nice, crisp light. What I'm going to do this weekend, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through and program it and see how it works, so I can spend the weekend periodically so I can see the different stages of light, possibly before, the during, and the after. And what I like about this light is the fact that once you go through that 24-hour the sunrise sunset, you can turn it off, or you can make it go into the night mode and then turn off, or just basically, you know, run the cycle. This I like because I can get back to the program, and if I lose power, it saves itself. I don't have to worry about going to all my timers, and some aren't easily accessible to adjust the times back. So with that, you can see the spread is there, the quality in my opinion is there, the 8.8 foot cord is definitely a plus. The heat dissipation is there, because as you saw, I was touching again and it was barely hot. So definitely a win-win. So if you're in the market and you want to upgrade your lighting, if you bought a used tank and it has the fluorescence and you want to upgrade your lighting, here's something for you. And I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to put the link to the website so you can look at the entire HYGGER lineup. If you go to the petnannystore.com, that's pet as in your pet, nannystore.com, the link is going to take you to this specific light so you can read up on it, you know, a little bit more, and you can take a look. They make various lights, different type of lights. They also have heaters, they have filtration, and a few other things. So if you go there and you say, you know what, I want to buy this light, do me a favor, put DeFreeze in the discount code section, save yourself 15%. And that should be good on any product that you buy. But that 15%, especially if you're upgrading, you can buy glass lids. You can buy some more fish. You can buy fish food. You can even put it towards buying a light for another one of your tanks, because I know you got more than one. We all have MTS. MTS, the struggle is real. Folks, I really appreciate you coming by. I'm happy that I could share this with you, and I'm liking it so far. So we'll check back in a couple months and we'll see if this was just a honeymoon phase or if this light is as good as I say it is. Because you know me, if it's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap. Packaging, quality feel, the quality of the LEDs, the functionality and customization of this light, in my book, makes it a win-win for me and hopefully for you, whether you do it tonight, tomorrow, or sometime in the near future. Check out HYGGER, petnannystore.com. This is Rob with the Freaks Aquariums, and thank you so much for stopping by. I certainly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will try to answer what I can. So the more I play with the light, the more experience I'll have, and hopefully answer some more of your questions. But with that, be on the lookout for the update on this. And as always, keep your sleeves wet, and peace. Oh, no, wait a minute. And until next time, folks, take care of yourself, take care of each other.